Hey there, boys and girls, CJ with the Straight Vape coming at you, and today I'm going to explain RBA, RDA, RTA, sub-ohm tanks. There's so many different names and labels and anagrams or whatever they're called for all the different types of atomizers you can use on your mods. So today we're going to kind of try to clear that up a little bit. And yeah, so before we get into that though, don't forget, join CASA, follow Not Blowing Smoke, follow their calls to action, and fight for your vaping rights. The FDA is trying to rip it all away, and if we don't do anything about it, then none of this is really going to matter. So let's get into it. Hey boys and girls, CJ here. So we're going to do some RBA, RDA, RTA, sub-ohm tank explanation stuff. But you may have noticed in the opening, check this guy out. Oh yes. FDA, don't tread on me, fella. So I got that, I think it was from Teespring or something like that. I'll try to find it and put a link in the description. I'm not sure that this actually helped like the other... Some other shirts I've gotten have supported Not Blowing Smoke or something, but I'm not sure about this one. But I just really like this, and I think I'm going to wear this a lot because it speaks volumes. So anyway, that's not what this video is about. This video today is about all these anagrams and stuff. I think they're called anagrams, where the first letter stands for something. Anyway, RDA, RBA, RTA, sub-ohm tank. What the heck does it all mean, right? So I'm gonna explain it all. So let's start with RDA. RDA stands for Rebuildable Dripping Atomizer, and this is a fairly common one. This is a Geek Vape Tsunami, and basically you pull the top off, and there's not much to it. It's just this silver top part. It's got the drip tip on there, and then you can build your own coils and put your own wick right there, right? And then this just screws onto your mod, and you put that on there, and then you just literally drip the juice, boop boop boop. So you keep the wicks wet, otherwise you get a dry hit, and if you get a dry hit, you're gonna be choking. So but that's what an RDA is. Any time that you have to paint the juice on, or you could drip it through the drip tip. That's why it's called a drip tip. You just drop some juice in there, and the cotton will soak it all up, and then you can vape it. That's what an RDA is, a rebuildable dripping atomizer. Okay, so that's one. So then we have an RTA. An RTA is a rebuildable tank atomizer. So very similar premise. You'll notice that this build deck looks very similar to that RDA, but an RTA now includes a tank section, so that you don't have to keep dripping it. You still do the same thing. You still put your build on there, you put your wicks, and you do have to prime them. So you take a little juice and boop, boop, put it on there, and then you screw this on. Whoop, screw the tank on top. And then the top of this comes off. And this is a Geek Vape Griffin 25. Just holds a lot of juice. This is a big tank. And then you just fill your juice right there. Put your juice in. Put the cap on. And then it's got some holes down at the bottom, which I'm not sure if my camera's going to pick them up or not. You can kind of see, like right there, under that G, there's a hole there. Yeah, it's like... And that's where the juice goes in and hits the wick. So that's what an RTA, Rebuildable Tank Atomizer. Okay? Very much like an RDA, except you have a tank, so you don't have to keep dripping. Now, this is where it's going to get a little bit more confusing. So this is a Ude Zephyrus V2, version 2. Okay, nice tank. This is considered a sub-ohm tank. And the reason it's considered a sub-ohm tank is, well, one, because the coil that you buy, this you don't have to build on. You don't have to, wick it yourself. You don't have to, build coils or anything like that. This comes with a replaceable coil. So this unscrews, and this is the coil. This has already got the coil and the cotton in it, just like that. And when this is bad or you want to change juices, you just pitch this and you screw another one in, you keep going. It's a sub ohm tank because all of these coils are sub 1 ohm. They're below 1 ohm. Now you can actually get coils that are above 1 ohm for some sub ohm tanks, but the term sub ohm tank is mainly referring to the fact that it has just a replaceable coil head. You don't have to, you know, wick it yourself. You don't have to build coils yourself. You just unscrew it, chuck it, put another one in, and you're good to go. Now, an RBA, a rebuildable base atomizer, works in some sub-ohm tanks. Not all sub-ohm tanks have RBAs, but this particular one does. So this has actually got this little tiny build deck, and if I can unscrew this, that's your little build deck, and you just put little micro coils on there and you wick it, and then this basically goes in place of that coil head. Okay, so get on there. There we go. So this particular tank, you can use a coil head, or you can use this RBA section, rebuildable base atomizer, and kind of have the best of both worlds. Now I will say this, in all the tanks I've had, and I've had a lot of tanks, I find that tanks typically excel in one or the other. So in other words, a lot of these sub-ohm tanks are great, like they'll have great coil heads, but the RBA section that you build on won't be so great. Or you'll buy a sub-ohm tank that uses, can use coils and also have an RBA section, and the RBA section is better than the coils. Like in my personal experience has been these U'd coils for the Zephyrus V2 are not great. They're very hit or miss. Like every third or fifth one will be awesome, and then the rest of them will not be great at all. The RBA section of this is very good if you get the build and the wicking just right. This is for me, it's been a very finicky tank, but that's not what this video is about either. So anyway, this is a sub-ohm tank with an RBA. Now, some manufacturers, because there's no guidelines, there's no what's the word I'm looking for here? No commonality, no guidelines or rules on what people call things. So, like this right here, this is actually one of my new favorite tanks. Another video coming up on this, but this is the Aspire Cleto. This is a sub-ohm tank. It has a replaceable coil. They also have an RBA section, but Aspire calls it an RTA section. It's really an RBA, but they call it an RTA. So that's where a lot of this confusion comes up with RDA, RBA, RTA, sub-ohm, blah, blah. What's what? There's also an RDTA, a rebuildable dripping tank atomizer, which is like the Geek Vape Avocado, the Theorem tank, the Avocado 24. There's another, I think Sub-Ohm Innovations or somebody makes one. But that's where the coils are on top, the tank's on the bottom, and the wicks go down into the tank. I actually really love those tanks too. I have both the Avocados, and they're freaking awesome. Love those. But that way the tank is in the bottom. The wicks are really long to get down into that tank, and it wicks up into the coil. So it puts the coil right up top, kind of like the RDA. So it's an RDTA, rebuildable dripping tank atomizer. Sorry I didn't have one. I just kind of added this in there because I realized I forgot to talk about it, because sometimes I'm a big dummy. But anyway, that's that. Generally speaking, an RDA, a dripper where you're going to have to keep filling. You take a few toots, drip it, a few toots, drip it. That's an RDA. These typically also give you the best flavor, typically. But they're going to be a little bit more work, and I've never had an RDA that I didn't get juice somewhere. I mean, because you're just openly using the juice. It's not really enclosed anywhere, so you're going to have juice. It'll get on your mod, it'll get on your hands. They're just a little bit messy. And if you over drip, then you got a big mess. But the flavor is very, very good. RTAs, this is actually what I'm on now, kind of, because I like building. I enjoy that. You do typically get a better flavor than a sub-ohm tank. and now I don't have the juice mess. I don't have to mess around with juice getting everywhere. I just fill it up, seal it up, and now these can also leak if you don't wick them right or the build's not quite right, but not, you know, they're not as prone to it. You get a build, you know, nice build in there, fill it up. You got tons of juice. You can go all day pretty much. But when you need to refill, you just refill the tank and you're good to go. Sub-ohm tanks like this Clito and this Zephyrus with the replaceable coils. This is the first sub-ohm. I mean, I absolutely love this freaking tank. I love it. I mean, it has tons and tons of flavor, tons and tons of vapor. You know, I rock this with the airflow, maybe about a third closed. But I also have the RBA, even though Aspire calls it RTA, RBA section for this. I've not tried it yet, but I'm just loving this. The coils in this are awesome. I mean, they're just the best coils I've ever had. So, again, you know, the coils in this, I didn't like them too much. Kanger coils, I've used probably hundreds of Kanger coils, all different kinds, and to me they're better than the Ude, but they're kind of hit or miss too. So it just depends on what you like and what you're looking for. If you're looking for, you know, a tank that holds a ton of juice like I do, I don't want to mess with it a whole bunch, then get a big tank. If you don't, not so much worried about that and you can drip and you're looking for flavor and or vapor production, an RDA is your best bet. It just depends on your style. You know, you could be like me where you have a little bit of everything too. So anyway, I'm getting all blabbery, rambling on here. But anyway, that's RDA, RTA, RBA, and sub-ohm tanks explained as best as I can. So if you like this video, give it the old thumbs up. Leave any comments. I might have missed something or messed something up. Leave comments below. Be sure to subscribe. And again, join CASA. It takes literally, I don't know, seconds. I mean, a minute. Join, follow the calls to action, and fight for your vaping rights. You know, vaping is all about getting people that smoke off combustible cigarettes so they can live a longer, healthier life. You know, and I'm living proof of that. So, fight for our rights, even if you're not a smoker. If you're a non-smoker and you know someone that's smoking, you can also join CASA and help us fight for our rights to live a healthier life. So, anyway, again, I'm getting all rambly. I don't know what's my deal with rambly today, but thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget, thumbs up, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.